Don Cohen here with another LinkedIn Live. Thank you so much for joining. You make this all worthwhile. By the way, chat is on. Feel free to reach out. Love to have you on the show and recognize your insights, comments, thoughts. So feel free, even if it's just who you are and where you're from. Well, today's topic, and it's Friday, is really a culmination of everything I've done and learned and condensed into what I'm about to talk about, which is 8 strategies that can really accelerate your LinkedIn success and optimize your opportunities and relationships. Now, before we get into the specific strategies, let me give you some context. People are crushing it on LinkedIn, so it shows it can be done. Where the rubber meets the road is balance. And what do I mean by balance? Well, if you do everything LinkedIn wants you to do, you're not going to get much for yourself. And if you do everything for yourself and disregard what LinkedIn wants you to do, you get nothing for yourself. So you have to figure out a strategy where you favor LinkedIn, where they want to support you and optimize your organic reach, which is what they really compensate you for, because there's really no creator money here. So it's really about either getting in position if one day there is, or just getting to the point where LinkedIn's your friend and you're not going against the wind. So basically, knowing the right method of activity, being very proficient helps. So you're not just making mistakes out of ignorance. And I think LinkedIn's very basic in its own way, where it doesn't even allow you to do too much. So doing it right and doing it with respect and service to others, again, gives you a competitive advantage over those who don't. The other key is reach and audience. And why is that important? Well, there's so many people who focus on content and they're really beating themselves up trying to figure out how to outdo themselves from the content they have. Well, let me tell you this. Whatever you know today isn't going to change that much from what you know tomorrow and what you believe in. Now, you'll have some minor opportunities based on what you learn, who you meet. So the point is, you can't outdo yourself every day, or the day before didn't mean anything. So people worry more about content, where the content should be more of what they're thinking. People want to know what you're thinking. They don't want you to tell them what to do, how to do it, why they're not successful. You're wasting your time, their time, and everybody now still has an issue that they haven't solved. So getting balance is about, favoring yourself when you can and not disrespecting LinkedIn or other people on LinkedIn. And when you do that, your SSI score, which if you don't know that, LinkedIn gives everybody a social selling index, and it's based on 4 different elements, and they rate you. Well, I think if you get to the top of the list, you've done everything they want you to do, and you haven't really figured out what's good for you. So as I mentioned before, the key is getting audience, matching it with relevant content, building consistency. And these are really the strategies that come together to make one solid strategy. And again, at every level, you're going to surpass people who don't get there. So if you look at like 8 bank accounts, if you're working at least 8 strategies, and let me go into a little detail on that, you keep building your reserve up. And hopefully it just gets bigger and better. And part of those strategies is building your goodwill and your giving quotient to a higher level, where now you're getting appreciated, but more importantly, you're building trust, you're building likability, and you're showing what you could do if you ever decide to get together and do something. So it's kind of like an audition. You got to look at every exposure as the one that can turn the tide. It only takes one person, one idea to separate you from the crowd. And that's the key, is how do you distinguish and differentiate yourself? To get into specific strategies, well, you got to have a tagging strategy. And if you don't know what tagging is, it can be very useful. Again, not that many people do it, and a great many people don't do it well. Another opportunity for a competitive advantage. Polling. You got to have a polling strategy. Polling is one of the greatest things if you have questions that you're tired of having to answer yourself, especially when it pertains to your audience. So a poll gives you an opportunity to ask the question to the group, get responses, which will guide, hopefully, your direction. But more importantly, it's a marketing capability, because whoever responds, now you have an opportunity, depending if you can find aligned, relevant individuals who you want to work with, to thank them. Thank you for involving yourself in my poll. I see we have a lot in common, whatever that is. It would be great to have a Zoom, or just ask a question. What did you like most? Or hopefully when you're responding to polls too, which is an opportunity to show yourself. So it's not just showing yourself to the whole LinkedIn community. It's really being strategic, because time is essential. You only have so much. And if you waste it and don't get a return on it, you got to ask yourself, how much can you keep investing like this and coming up short? So, tagging, polling, LinkedIn Live, I'm doing it every day. It's phenomenal. You get higher consciousness type individuals who are thought leaders, who embrace being out there, being authentic without filters, and letting people get to know you before they have to reach out and get to know you. So, be a couple of steps ahead, be strategic, be balanced, understand the dynamics that you're working with. And when you're dealing with people, it's all over the place. And that's why you need to determine your goal line and who can be, associated with you. You need to be the choosing. Don't be in the marketplace. Excuse me. And that's key, because when you gain control, when you have strategies that work and work every time, you can build your own ATM machine into LinkedIn and punch in the code, and you'll get the benefit. That's the benefit of this. And it's only going to get bigger. It's already 875 million people. And people get so caught up in how many people are out there, when you can only work with one person at a time. And more importantly, you only want to work with the people you want to work with, who want to work with you. So how many does it take to convert to one a month? And whatever that is, if it comes up short still, do more, do better, do faster, do with others. Someone's working it. And you know what? This is like playing poker with everybody's hands out. Look at who's killing it. Go to see what they're doing. Who's doing it with them? How are they doing it? They're still working on the same platform. So if they're doing it and you're not, maybe they're doing it the way that needs to be done. And as you go down more strategies, which is posting, which is frequency, which is consistency, you have to be in a position to plan, do, review, get into knowledge share. I mean, if this could be transformative, if it can get you to where you never thought you could go, and do in a way that you can duplicate, sustain, and scale, what could be better? It's going to get bigger. You're sitting in front of a screen, which is so time and cost efficient. Plus, the other strategies involve, how do you get more people to listen to what you say in the most cost and time efficient way? LinkedIn Live will do it. The ability to tag people and aggregate that power of those people is cool. And, just having it all together, and, why not do it right when it's just a matter of, it's not more time, it's actually less time. Because when you do something wrong, doesn't work, you get frustrated, takes your mood away, your attitude changes, but more importantly, you're less inclined to get excited. When you're doing things right and it's working, you want to keep investing in it, because now it's not a risk, it's now a leverage. How do you get more? And that's where scale comes in. And it's all about people, and those are all strategies. And what I've done is I've got a LinkedIn program that includes all of that at my website. If you want to take a look at it, doncohenconsulting.com. And it can be done. And it can be done relatively in a short period of time, 30 to 60 days, which isn't a lot. But all I do is share what I do, how I do it, why I do it, and how one can do it with me until they can get more self-sufficient and then expand their horizons. So anyways, hopefully this was beneficial. I'm trying to get the meat of everything out there, and get things that you can actually apply today to make things happen today. So thank you so much for tuning in. Share this with others if you're so disposed. But hope I helped, and we'll be back tomorrow with another LinkedIn Live.